Hi everyone. Today is Wednesday, August 19th, and today I was trying to get some ideas on for teaching music in the upcoming um, classes that I will be working with music for some of the older students who are at least age 10, 11, and up to 15, 16 or so. Um, but also starting with some beginner kind of initiation and just kind of getting exposed to different instruments. And I was thinking, like, okay, how can I show, I don't know, the different ranges, and then uh, getting something that could be like the keyboard, and then from there, the like piano roll, and then I was like, okay, can I add guitar? Can I add ukulele? Can I add violin? Can I add the recorder, um, the keyholes? Maybe I can also get the tin whistle. So it's just kind of escalating a lot. And then I realized that with this kind of piano roll, the way the AI seemed to set something up, it would have the note. It's basically its height, and then also its position in the song in terms of timing, and also its duration. So what was really cool about the position in the song in terms of timing is that if I created an array of like the notes on the right hand, I could also set up the notes on the left hand and just know that they're going to have to coincide at different timings. And I thought that was a very kind of clever way to, well, basically just get it of like X and Y in terms of like, well, the piano height is the frequency of the note. And then where is it going to be in that song starting from zero is like basically when it begins. And then how long does that last? So I thought that was a really cool thing. And then I guess after that would be adding maybe possible dynamics. That would be another thing to add on here. So I'm just going to start with this thing of minuet and G, and then show also that I can play around with a keyboard. And what I also realized is that since I have an external um, keyboard, in addition to the keyboard that is on the laptop, that actually means I can get like two piano keyboards in a way. Or so I set it up so there's like Z, from like Z to N is like this bottom octave, and then also going with the white note, black notes with the A S D row, and then the next row above Q to P would be another octave, and then also with the black notes on the piano. So actually, if I can play over here on this keyboard, I could also do something over here on the laptop. So, and as I'll show you here, getting the guitar fret and the ukulele fretboard and the violin, and then looking at the also the recorder keys. It's a really cool way to see how everything kind of lines up. And so as I was able to hit some keys on the keyboard, I can actually see where would those be on the fretboard, because there are many times where I'm playing something on the guitar and I'm like, what is that? So sometimes I'm going to try to find the fret, and try to figure out what the note is, and then maybe go over to the piano. But in this idea of having everything kind of lined up, I could actually move around between the instruments and know if I hit this fret number on this instrument, it should correspond over here, like on the ukulele, etc. So I'll just let me show you. But yeah. I'm going to make this kind of slow, but you should be able to hear this. So there it's minuet in G. It's activating the keys on the piano. me show what happens when I start kind of playing the keyboard. So I can have the, so there's just like the first octave on the guitar, and because those notes can be in multiple places, you can actually get an idea of where could you. So I could get a like a C E G chord. I know when I usually play the guitar, I get that the G string, and then I could possibly get this, or where was the. Sometimes it doesn't really want to let me play all of these notes at the same time. So I know that I could get that C, C, G, and if I want those same exact notes, I know that I can play the C on the ukulele. That's the bottom note on the ukulele. If I go to the violin, that is the, I mean, the violin doesn't have frets, but it's just for the sake of kind of mentally visualizing where these notes would be next to each other. And then playing that C, basically I have all of those notes covered on the recorder. If I go up a note to the D, now I release a couple of those holes on the recorder, and now I'm getting to the this next on the violin. I have an open string, or I go up to that fourth finger on the G string, on that bottom G string of the violin, or I can start to get the second fret on the ukulele, or I could get. Why am I not getting the open D? Oh, because I'm already up an octave. Yeah, so I'm not going to get that bottom open D. That would be an octave below. That would be down here. Yeah, that would be the open D, the D3. So yeah, this is an interesting way where I could start to play some of the keys, or I can actually kind of accompany myself. So I could do something like, okay, C, and maybe over here. So I could play, this is on my laptop computer, and this is down on my external computer. So I'm not sure if I can get the minuet in G, but this. So, and if I go up an octave, yeah, this is kind of messing with my head a little bit, but yeah, that would be. Yeah, so trying to do a little bit of the notes that I just heard there. And at the bottom, yeah, so basically splitting the right hand and left hand between the two keyboards, you can do some interesting things, and then you can see where those notes end up on the different instruments. So this is kind of just blowing my mind on the kind of stuff you can do. And then once I figured out how these scales or how the scores can fit on this kind of a timeline, this piano roll, and I could even drag this in a way. It's not exactly dragging the way I would normally think, but I could drag it like this. Well, okay, that was not what I expected there. But if I wanted to practice these notes, I could. I mean, it holds it, but if I was going to teach this note for some students, I could hold that and then go find that fret or that position and then match it. I'm going to turn that off. but I could find that note. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to just like, okay, hold it without playing it and just show it where it would be on the different instruments, and then scrub to the next thing. So actually, this is almost like a hurdy-gurdy where I can move it forward with the arrows, or I can go back and then like start the play from there. So I could turn this into like a practice tool where, oh, I got stuck there. So the next thing, I guess, beyond this kind of piano roll would be to scroll up and have maybe actual score of the notes on the treble clef and the bass clef, and then the piano keys, and then where that could match up with the guitar, the ukulele, the violin, or these other instruments that I can find that I'm thinking about teaching. But that's kind of the this idea for today, and it's just expanding. Like, okay, can I get it to do this? Can I get it to do this? And so I know I have things like this finger chart, or for the different instruments, and the recorder is something where like, okay, wait, what? I do what? So having it visual and match it up with some of these instruments is it's a really cool tool, a visual tool that is cool, and then see what I can do with this. But yeah, I'm really excited for this, and being able to share this, show this to some of the students. And I was just the other day was trying to teach how the ukulele board matches up with the piano keys, and moving. I really wish I had something like this when I was teaching myself the guitar when I was in high school, because I was given a guitar and just said, "Here, learn it," and it was like E A D G B E, and I was like, "What?" I was like, E A D G B E, and how does it work? Okay, you just keep going half step, half a step, half a step, and I basically had to draw something like this on a piece of paper, and then or on the computer, but really just kind of like a paint program, and then print it, and then start putting my fingers here. I would have loved to have something like this where I could actually see keys and instrument and have it match up, and it's like the same note name, basically the same sound. Obviously, it's not the sounds of the instruments. It's basically like a sine wave or something like that. Um, but or triangle wave. So yeah, after this yeah, it becomes a tool that can be used for musicians, and yeah, I'm really excited to kind of see what else I can do with this, or even add like a chord button. So almost like an accordion where you hit the button and you get these reeds that are starting to play. So then it could be even more interesting to kind of hold a chord and then accompany, or I'll see what I can do. But it's crazy what you can do with JavaScript and HTML and CSS. Um, yeah, this is not even a digital audio workspace. It's just JavaScript and CSS. But yeah, it's cool what these AI tools can, if you ask them and you kind of get creative on some ideas, like, can it do this? Can it do this? And yeah, it builds stuff for you. Hola a todos, hoy es miércoles, es el 19 de agosto, y hoy estoy experimentando con un programa para enseñar música, sobre todo como la posición de dónde poner los dedos en el teclado, en la guitarra, el ukulele que acabo de tener, o acabo de comprar un grabadora, y ya conozco el violín. Entonces ya tener ese concepto en la mente de varios instrumentos y tener como la misma nota y dónde puedo encontrar esa nota, y incentivar un poco los alumnos que voy a enseñar a tener esa curiosidad de cómo esa misma nota y cómo va a estar para los otros instrumentos, o cómo se escucha, o si quiero practicar, tener una melodía y lo quiero practicar aquí, y pongo pausa, buscar la nota, practicar dónde están mis dedos. Entonces espero que esto puede estar interesante para si pongo más melodías o también si puedo añadir como notas notas escritas además, porque ahorita como se ve como una guitarra o ukulele y con los números y los nombres de las notas, pues sí se puede hacer varias cosas con la como CSS y eso sí me inspira bastante de como, ¿qué puedo hacer con esto? Bonjour tout le monde, aujourd'hui c'est mercredi, c'est le 19 août et là je suis en train de jouer un peu avec un petit outil pour montrer les notes ou comment jouer ou visualiser ou mettre les doigts quelque part, par exemple pour faire des accords ou pour chercher une note sur notre instrument et quel est l'équivalent. Donc c'est assez utile pour si je joue, si quelqu'un joue plusieurs instruments ou si quelqu'un connaît un instrument et qui cherche à dire à un ami, bah, je suis en train de jouer ça, bah, sur ton instrument tu joues ça. Donc ça peut être amusant aussi, surtout si on ne connaît pas forcément les noms des notes ou mais on sait que, ok, 1, 2, 3, 4, donc si on peut compter, donc on met le doigt là, et il y a le nom, et il y a cette position-là. Donc, ça c'est assez amusant et ça me donne encore des idées pour enseigner aux élèves. Ähm, Hallo an alle, heute ist Mittwoch, der 19. August und heute mache ich etwas für Lernen, Musik und für Spielen und was mache ich für diese Note und Spielen, der Praxis und ich denke, das ist sehr hilfreich. Ich sehe, wie ist diese Note, wie kann ich es zu spielen. Und ich hoffe, dass für Studenten es werdet hilfreich auch. Das ist alles für heute. Ciao a tutti, oggi è 19 agosto e oggi ho cominciato a fare una cosa per aiutare, per insegnare, per imparare gli strumenti musicali dove posso incontrare una nota nel pianino e dopo questo nella chitarra o violino o ukulele o gravador. E si aiuta molto, molto, molto per imparare, per capire e voglio continuare con questo. Questo è tutto per oggi. Всем привет! Сегодня среда, это 19 августа, и сегодня я начал делать что-нибудь для помогать музыканты, которые хотят играть на пианино, на скрипке, на гитаре и понимать, где должен иметь инструмент и нот. И думаю, что это может быть хорошо, чтобы учиться и играть и так далее. Это все на сегодня. Большое спасибо. Пока.